With the future of deferred action for childhood arrivals in jeopardy, that's DACA, immigration advocates and DACA recipients in South Carolina are asking Congress to take action. Our Jason Raven spoke with Dreamers about how it could impact them.
Officials estimate there are about 9,000 DACA recipients living in South Carolina, and close to 90% of them are employed in the state's workforce. Now, advocates say if the program is rescinded, there could be an economic impact in the state. DACA was established back in 2012 through an executive order by then President Barack Obama. The program prevents the deportation of thousands of people brought to the U.S. as children. Right now, there are about 8,785 DACA recipients in South Carolina, and a pending court case in federal appeals court could lead to the program's end, which could impact dreamers like Tahira Tarwala, who came to the U.S. when she was 1 year old.
As of right now, I am not worried about losing the work that I'm doing right now, but I will be in a position again where I am fearing deportation and being unsure about the future.
Now, South Carolina is part of the lawsuit in federal appeals court. Now, they joined the state of Texas and 6 other states in challenging the program. In a statement sent to us Wednesday, South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson wrote, "Even though I don't think innocent children and teens should be deported, the problem is that the DACA expansion was done by an executive order by President Obama. According to our Constitution, it's Congress that passes laws, not the president. I signed that letter urging the repeal of the DACA executive order so that Congress will take action to make it a law, which is the way the issue should be handled." Now, the Fifth Circuit's decision is expected later this year, but for now, Tarwala and another DACA recipient, Sheree Patel, who has called Orangeburg home for many years, will be waiting to see what the decision will be.
The greatest lesson I've learned as a DACA recipient is how to be grateful that I'm in the United States. And irregardless of the hardship I've had to face here, it's taught me that home is not defined by where you were born, but defined by the connections you make and strengthen with the people from where you are.
A bill that would have allowed DACA recipients living in South Carolina to earn occupational licenses passed the House this session, but stalled in the Senate this year. In Columbia, Jason Raven, 7 News.
Advocates say DACA recipients in South Carolina pay about $33 million in taxes each year.